You're listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. I'm Mel Tillar, your host, and today's guest wants to be the very next Nevada State Assemblyman from District 13. His name is Will Rucker. Will, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Mel. I'm honored to be a part of your broadcast.
I'm very excited to talk to you today. You're running for assemblyman. Why should people vote for you?
People should vote for me because I'm the candidate that believes in doing what's best for all people, not just the wealthiest among us, not just those who are better off than others. I'm the candidate that knows that we have to invest in our kids if we want to see a brighter future, that we have to save our planet if we want to do anything else. I'm the candidate that is building a campaign based on hope and freedom, that's building a movement based in love and creating a society that really works for all of us.
I love your answer. Give me some specifics. Specifically, what are you focused on and what kind of change will you bring to District 13?
Yeah, thanks for asking that, and give me a little runway here because
All
it's a
right.
big change that I'm hoping to create. The first thing that I want to do is move our sessions from biannual to annual. Right now, the state legislators get together once every 2 years and for about 4 months to do everything we need to do for the next 2 years. What that does is it causes us to think in 2-year increments. So if we don't get something done in one session, oh, we'll deal with it in 2 years. The other thing that that does is it excludes everyday average Nevadans from actually engaging in the process. So what I want to do is make sure that the state legislature comes together every single year to deal with our budget, to deal with any legislative needs that we have, and so that we can be agile and responsive to the people of Nevada. We've grown as a state, and I think our legislature needs to catch up and be modernized to do that. So that means in order to fix our school system, in order to save our environment, in order to bolster our economy, any issue that you're really thinking about, it's all dependent on ensuring that we get together more frequently so that we can address the issues in a timely manner. And that's what I want to bring to the legislature.
I like that. We're having a lot of issues in our community, CCSD, our schools are having great challenges and so forth. How will you impact that?
Yeah, that's a big one. And, I won't kid you. I'll be one voice out of 42.
Yes.
So, it's no magic wand that I can wave. But what I can do is I can say the things that need to be said, which is number one, we need to fully fund our education system. And right now, as a state, we're about $5,000 per pupil, lower than the national average. $5,000 per pupil. That's a big deal. So if we're underspending by that much, is there any wonder why we're also at the bottom of the list of educational outcomes? So we've got to spend the money on our students, pay our teachers well, pay our support teams well, and ensure that all of our kids have access to a world-class education, not just those that can afford to go to private school or, be sent to a boarding school somewhere, but every single kid should have access to a world-class education, no matter what their zip code might be, no matter what their parents do for a living. Every single kid deserves that. So we have to make sure public education is funded. And here's the other part of why that's important. We're having an uptick in crime. Everyone knows that. We're seeing it on the news daily.
Yes.
Well, if you want to have a safer public situation, you need to have better public schools. You need to educate the population and ensure that people get those social skills. That's a very big, important piece. Kids need to be able to play. They need to have after-school activities to be able to use all of that youthful energy. So everything we're talking about, public safety, starts with public education.
We're speaking with Will Rucker. He wants to be the next state assemblyman for District 13. Will, talk to us about why District 13 is so important.
Yeah, District 13 is one of the fastest growing districts in our state. not just in Southern Nevada, but in our entire state. It has literal dinosaur bones in our ground.
Wow.
And we
Okay.
also have a lot of new construction. So it's a fast-growing area that is extremely diverse in every metric you can think about, whether it's ethnicity, age, income status, education level, family makeup. It's extraordinarily diverse. So it's an important district. The other thing that people probably don't realize is in District 13, we haven't had a Democratic representative even run for the office in nearly a decade. There's been literally no choice on the ballot for assembly in this district for almost a decade. And I think that that's outrageous. That's unfair to all the families here in District 13 who at least deserve the opportunity to choose their representative, not to have their representative chosen for them.
How can our listeners contact you?
My website is electwillrucker.com. I'm on all social media at Will Rucker for Nevada. That's Will Rucker, the number 4, and then NV. And then my email, will@electwillrucker.com.
It's been great talking to you. You have some wonderful ideas. We wish you a lot of luck. I'd like to leave you with the last word. What would you like to leave our listening audience with?
I want the listening audience to hear that your vote is so important. The reason you get tons of mail, the reason you get spammed by text and phone call, the reason that I'm showing up at your door, my volunteers are showing up at your door, is because your vote matters. And I want you to know something else. You're not just a drop in the ocean in this world. You are the entire ocean in a drop. So live compassionately.
I want you all to take that message to heart. Understand that democracy is on the ballot this time around. You need to make your statement. If you believe in democracy, you need to vote. If you believe in fascism, if you believe in the direction that many will take or want to take our nation, then you need to vote. This is a time where everyone needs to stand up. It's all hands on deck. If you want to protect our democracy, vote. If you want a say-so, if you want a voice in future elections, vote, because there are those who are trying to take away your right to vote. That's not hyperbole. That is not hyperbole. There are voter suppression laws that have been passed in 49 different states. People who intend to take away the right to vote. People who believe that you do not have a right to vote, a right to speak up. This is a very important election. Vote your conscience. Vote, speak up. It's your voice. If you believe in democracy, understand that democracy is on the ballot this time. You've been listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce. I'm Mel Tillar, your host, and that's Keeping It 100.